So this diagram illustrates the combinatorial definition of a tournament. This represents Pool C of the Rugby World Cup of 2019. Members of the pool were Australia, Fiji, Georgia, Uruguay and Wales. Each team played each other team precisely once. That's part of what we mean by a tournament. And in each game, one side wins and the other side loses. We're not our mathematical treatment of tournaments doesn't include the concept of a draw. Every game has to have a winner and a loser. So we write the results in this table here, and the letter that we write here is kind of from the point of view of the team labelled at the left-hand side of the row. So these are the results from the point of view of Australia. Australia wins against Fiji, so we have a W. Wins against Georgia, we have a W. Wins against Uruguay, so we have a W, and loses against Wales, so we have an L. And of course, you could look at the same matches from the point of view of the other team. So here, this is the Australia-Fiji match, but this is in Fiji's row, so we annotate it according to Fiji's point of view. So according to Fiji's point of view, that's a loss. Australia beat Georgia, so from Georgia's point of view, that's a loss. Australia beat Uruguay, so from Uruguay's point of view, that's a loss. And Wales beat Australia, so from Wales's point of view, that's a win. Okay, so in this table here, well, we have nothing on the diagonal because teams don't play themselves. And every time we have a W above the diagonal, we have an L in the corresponding position below the diagonal. Every time we have an L above the diagonal, we have a W in the corresponding position below the diagonal, because here Australia losing against Wales is the same as Wales winning against Australia. In the last column here we have the score. In our mathematical treatment, well, we don't count goal difference or anything. The score is just the number of matches won. So Australia has 3 W's in Australia's row, so there's a score of 3. Fiji just has 1 win against Georgia, so a score of 1. Georgia has just 1 win against Uruguay, so that's a score of 1 again. Uruguay has 1 win against Fiji, score of 1. And Wales beats everyone, so there's a score of 4. And we can also illustrate the same results in this kind of graph over here. Convention we're always going to use is we have an arrow from the winner to the loser. Okay, so here Uruguay beats Fiji, so we have an arrow marked in green now from U to F, indicating that Uruguay beats Fiji. And then here, and so here we've marked that in green because we're hovering over this L here, which is from the point of Fiji's view, that's a loss. But the same game, here we're hovering over the W here, where that's the same match as a win from Uruguay's point of view, so we've now marked it in blue, marked the arrow in blue. So for each match we have an arrow which goes over here from the winner to the loser. And we've sort of drawn this roughly so that the better teams are at the top and the arrows typically go down. In particular, in the notes, we have the concept of a winning line, a sequence of a way of writing the teams in order so that each team wins against the next team. So we can do a winning line like this. Okay, so Wales beats Australia, Australia beats Uruguay, Uruguay beats Fiji, Fiji beats Georgia. That's a winning line. But this is not a consistent tournament because if we look here at U, F and G, so U beats F, F beats G, G beats U in a cycle like this. So it's not, so remember, a consistent tournament is a tournament where there are systematic differences in skill between the different teams, and the better team always wins with no kind of randomness. So that's not what we're seeing here, because U beats F, so you might think that U is better, but then F beats G and G beats U, which seems to suggest that in fact F is better than U, and so it's inconsistent.